Bon, we took a good start in a Bounty Builder series. I'll make a review of the ends at the break. For now I'm gonna show one that I'm not sure I played properly. Quad 8s, just quad 8. I flat pre. I don't check raise because it's really dry, so he needs an overpair to call me here. He's not gonna, even though it looks bluffy because I'm maybe not supposed to bluff to raise all my sets. But anyway, I think if he has an overpair, he's gonna continue, so I can check raise on the turn, and he can catch some draw, whatever. And then on that turn, since I'm sure it doesn't put me on any 8 in the small blind, I lead small to make it look like I have some draw, even though it's hard on that board. It can be Queen Jack, Jack 9, 7 9. But even though if I have 7 9, I have 7 8. But so I bet small, he raises, and so when he raises, I think he has an overpair, and I think for the same reasons he's not gonna put me on 8. He might put me on 10 sometime, but he might have a hard time folding an overpair. So instead of calling and letting him barrel river, which I'm not sure he's doing, is maybe checking back on the river, I decide to come back on top, which is really not standard. On this guy, I already 4-bet shoved for 60 bigs with a ace 10 suited in the same situation. He likes to 3-bet the small blind a lot, so for once I'm gonna call. And if he checks, since that guy hasn't shoved, I might lead. Okay, but so I came back on top and he folded, so I don't know what he has. The thing is, he min raised, so he might think I'm weak and just want to deny some equity, but the thing is, I think with pure bluffs he makes it bigger. But with value bets, he's supposed to make it bigger, so here I'm not sure if I took the best option, but in the end we are both really deep, so if he doesn't believe me, or if he wants to, if he has tens somehow and wants to come back on top, like if he has tens, everything's gonna go anyway, but sure I could squeeze bluffed, but I'm gonna happily call. The happy life of having a big stack. I'm gonna keep recording this hand actually, and pause after and show the other hands at the break. This guy has a lot, huh? And I don't want to check raise in that position. Wow, what do I do here? This guy is obviously a set or something now. He's not supposed to do that with the nut flush draw. He would jam, or say, would jam or call. So okay, I call. I hope it just calls. Thing is, here I'm a bit face up, huh? I would probably re-raise the set. I could isolate him, but he has so much that I don't want to be crazy here. Okay, some more outs. Most likely gonna shove. I still like 25%. So when he shoves, I'm a bit pressed in. Please check. Okay, yeah, and 28%. It's really close. But I think I might be dead against some hands, like King Jack of Hearts or stuff like that. So we were dead in the movie. Already the 4008 on the turn. I'm not super happy about it. But I think it's kind of hard. It can be protecting something like what he has, like 9s, and if the first guy falls, then our equity is alive. In this situation it's much worse. Because I did not talk about that during the hand, and it's gonna look like result oriented that I say no, that I saw his hand, but I'm aware that the guy that's playing good also called, and that he could fold, he could shove, you know, and he called, so it's a bit scary as well. Okay, so apparently we played 28 hands in this thing, so it's not gonna take too long. So we arrived at the table, can make it bigger. Yeah, the weird noise is my dog that's screaming because my wife is getting some food outside and he likes to bark and scream at strangers. Okay, so we fold this one, we fold this one, we fold this one, we fold this one. This one was interesting. We open, he calls. Okay, so here I was saying, even though we block the board a lot, small blind, there's some aces, and checking back and getting very aggressive later looks very strong. I would do this in bluff sometimes. So in value, in case there's something, in case there's a draw, in case there's an ace, we bet. Bet small at the beginning. Now that he called, we think that he has a lot of ace queen in his range, and that on this pair he's gonna think that he's splitting against almost everything and that he's winning against bluffs. So we make it big. And he calls. And on the river, for the same reasons, here we make an overbet because we have a bounty, so we go all in. It's 1.5 times the pot exactly, so it's a lot. He tanked a long time, he folded, but I like the line. This one we 3-bet and fold, I think. This one is interesting. We float because we think he's not gonna have a lot on this flop. And here we bet because actually we think after having called it looks a lot like we have a draw and we made our flush. So when he checks, after he checks, if he had bet, it would have been different, but we expect a lot of check here. He checks, we bet big, he calls. He might have 2 overs and a spade, so on this card I keep representing. This is the hand, like he has a lot and everything, but let's say if he has aces and a spade or something, he should keep betting, and if he has without a spade, he should keep betting too. Like I think he's really weak there. So even though it's for a lot of my chips, I think, especially after having made the overbet 2 hands after, this can really look like, okay, I'm still value betting, but no, I'm not taking the overbet because it didn't work, and so no, I want to get called. Like it really doesn't look like a bluff. Like I keep half of my chips. If he shoves, it sucks, but I think he's gonna have a super high success rate. It worked. This one is interesting too. Open 3-bet. This guy had 3-bet a few hands we were not involved in, so maybe we did not see it, but it was his 3rd or 4th 3-bet in a short time. So here we cover both. This is a lot of big blind, but his range on the button is going to be very wide. We have equity against his range if he calls. Same for him. It's nice, very aggressive shove, but against him and his stack size, it's actually nice for 40 bigs. Plus a bounty, plus the fact that he's an aggressive 3-better, plus the fact that it's an open on the button. I love it. I really love it. Everybody falls. This one we didn't play. This one we played. What did we do? We open. We check back. And we raise a lead. Yeah, I like this one too. Because yes, what was I thinking there? It took a long time pre-flop, and I think that if he's really strong here, he can. I think he hesitated to 3-bet. That's the point. It took a long time, and so I think he was hesitating between 3-betting and calling, so that he has a lot of broadways, maybe stuff like that. And not so many pairs that with 40 bigs are more like easy calls, 6, 7, 8. And then I check back the flop and he leads the turn, but since I check back the flop, I look weak, so he might lead a lot of hands, and so I raise because it looks really strong, and because if he's not really strong, he has to fold a lot. I'm value betting against king queen of diamond, and it's also to allow me to check back a lot of rivers, so that he might check rivers if he calls. So I raise, he folds. Good result. This one, I think bet c bet. The 8s I already showed. The ace queen just after the 8s is, I think, the same principle as the hand before. No, it's a different one. So here I bluff bet, I get one call. I check the turn, I could bet, and and then I don't really like the river, so I check back, and he has a weaker hand, which is a very good result. This, I think, bet c bet. We have the backdoor royal flush draw. And this one, it's a bit the same as the hand where I had ace king, unless here I don't even block the board. Well, I flat pre, okay, I flat pre, but this is, there is this guy, if I 3-bet, he cannot really broke 2 too light. Here I'm really torn what I'm gonna do. I think check once, but give me a deuce of spades. Amazing, almost the same. So here, and I think on a lot of boards I can still stack him, as you will see. So here I'm not sure he has 9-10. Huh? I'm not sure he has a jack either. I think he can have a lot of diamonds. He bet relatively quick. He can have king jack of diamonds. I think I block a lot 9-10. A lot. And a lot all sets. I could shove on him, but yeah, see? This is because I check back the flop, so I underwrap my hand, so he's gonna probably be a bit more spewy, but I did not love the spot either, because you can still easily have a jack in the small blind. The thing is that it's a bit, the only thing is representing, since I don't think he can have a lot of straights with 2 9s in my hand. So here I flat, and because I'm not gonna tell all the reasons why I flat here, sorry. Voilà. He did all the job for me. At every point turn I was maybe I'm gonna raise, but I'm okay, maybe if he has nothing, but I don't know, maybe to protect from an ace. I don't think he folds, I can get it in, but the thing is, it looks strong, I can have a set, I can have a straight. Here I rep king queen, and he's gonna keep value betting ace queen. Value bet ace queen. And then the s5, that was at the beginning of the video, so you saw it live. I could do the same shove on him as I did, especially with 2 stacks, but my hand's a bit weaker, and I like to play it that way. He checks. I think he would have shoved most of the hands that hit that board really hard, and I think that he would have reshoved most of the hands that hit that board really hard, or that are still good, so I lead. Because I think they are both weak here. I don't know if it's a amazing read or if I'm stupid, but I kind of like this line. And then the 5-3 that you saw live, and then the 9s that you saw live, and here we are.